Hello everyone, how are you? This is yours truly, Tech Gear Guy. Hey everyone, so I just sat down to edit this review video and come to a realization that I didn't have my cameras focusing correctly set. So throughout the video, it's focusing on the laptop that's actually in front of me. So my ugly face is slightly out of focus, which may be a blessing in disguise. But anyhow, just wanted to give you that quick warning that I am out of the focus throughout the video. All right, now let's jump back into the review. All right, so a little bit of disclaimer before I get started is the laptop is sitting on the same table as where the camera, the tripod is sitting on. So if I inadvertently introduce a shake, like put my elbow down or something, camera may shake a little bit. All right, so now that's out of the way, this video is being actually shot the day after Cyber Monday, year 2018. So this 17 version right now is on $150 instant rebate, so you can have it for hair over $1,700. I believe it normally goes for $19.99 in this configuration, which is Coffee Lake 8th generation Intel i7 with the 32 gigabytes of RAM, DDR4 RAM, and let's see what else, 256 gigabytes of NVMe M.2, and then there's a secondary storage at 2 terabytes, but it is hampered by its speed, which spins at 5400 RPM. Other than that, the 17-inch 4K IPS panel is absolutely stunning to look at. It is one of the highlights of this laptop. And so now let's actually go around and take a look at this laptop together. So on the exterior, on the top, you have a carbon fiber weave looking texture right here. And then the Omen logo, which is actually upside down. You got to look at it this way. So Omen brand actually used to be by a company called Voodoo PC a couple years ago, which HP acquired, and then they carried over the logo afterwards. Okay, so on the bottom, which is by the way completely user service friendly, so you can take this bottom cover off to get to the inside. So earlier, remember I said the 2 terabyte secondary storage is somewhat slow, spinning at 5400 RPM, so you can easily get in there, yank the drive out, put something faster in, off you go. And then there's this rubberized feet that raise the laptop's bottom surface from the table so that it can cool better. And then right here you look at the let me level it, let me get it in focus. So the vents right there where the heat will exit the chassis, very Lamborghini-like. All right, so on the side, there are plenty of ports. See, one thing about a gaming laptop this big, this large, carrying this kind of chassis, you have a lot of ports. On this side, you have the Kensington lock, mini display port, HDMI out, full gigabit Ethernet, USB 3.1, Thunderbolt 3, headphone jack, microphone jack, and an SD card slot. So very nice array of ports. And then if you look on this side, you have the power in and couple of USB 3.1 ports. Unlike the 15-inch sibling, you do not get any ports on this side right here, which I think would have been better, especially for the power, because the power plug plugs in this way and it basically extends the effective width by even that much. All right, so now let's open up the laptop and let's take a look at it. So as I said earlier, beautiful 17-inch screen. Unlike the 15-inch sibling though, you have a ton of bezel going on, and the hinge mechanism is also different than the 15-inch sibling. Just by the design alone, you will have significant flex in the display, coupled with the size and the non-metal chassis, I assume. So there is a significant flex right here. However, on the base side of things, the brush, the metallic looking palm rest and overall base plate, there is no play here at all. By the way, earlier when I went over, I forgot to mention, this has an NVIDIA GeForce 1070. So is it the best, the top of the line, desktop grade GPU? No. However, for portable gaming, more than suitable for what you need. All right, so as you can see, the keyboard is RGB lit. You know, for it being a gaming laptop, you have the arrow keys in a different color pattern, so that's somewhat of a nice touch. What I don't like about this laptop, even though it excels in a lot of things, especially if you're into portable gaming and what have you, the size is a little unwieldy, but that is somewhat expected when you get a 17-inch laptop. It weighs in at chunky 8.4 pounds. Normally when I do a laptop review, I would read you the dimensions of the length, width, and depth. I will skip and I'll just tell you that it is large. All right, so now that's out of the way. Another somewhat of an issue with this laptop is the keyboard is a chiclet style, island style keyboards, but they are very deadened. So what I mean by that, there is, you know, it has plenty of travel, but the tactile, and it does spring back somewhat in a speedy manner, but as you're typing, it's very muted. So the like a tactile feedback that I would want from a laptop isn't quite there. So it's a somewhat dead feeling to me. The trackpad also is, for the size of the laptop, is somewhat smaller than I would have liked on this size of a laptop. And it definitely lacks a precision tracking. And the gestures and all that, that's one of the problems that I would like to share. Now, Bang & Olufsen audio, it is banging. In terms of cooling, the laptop actually, I haven't noticed the laptop getting all that warm or hot, even under load. That you will actually hear the fans normally, even when you're doing normal tasks. However, you're not really like noticing the fans kicking in like a jet plane taking off. For instance, like the MSI Stealth that I reviewed, which I'll link right here, you can noticeably hear the fans kicking in when it needs to start cooling down, whereas fans on this particular laptop you will hear, but it's not as annoying or noticeable is the way I would like to put it. Through the normal regular use, such as productivity work or browsing or a little bit of, you know, what have you, the laptop obviously based on its spec alone comes through just flying colors. There is absolutely no issue with the usability in terms of performance and stability is concerned. You know, and I could talk about benchmark numbers, and I'll throw up the benchmark numbers on the screen right now. But, you know, to me, what's also important is the perceived speed through just normal use. Benchmark numbers are used to, you know, measure apple to an apple, so that you could look at some metric numbers. But to me, also what's important is just you using it as normal, and whether you feel the laptop is sluggish or laptop is performing swiftly, that perception is also important to me. And when I'm using this laptop, again, based on the cost and the specs, I should never feel that it's a sluggish, and that is absolutely true. It is a pleasure to use. You know, set aside from a little bit of really minor gripes, we're splitting hair here, about the keyboard and the trackpad, which is somewhat important because that is your tactile interface with the laptop. So if you are not bothered as much as I am, there's absolutely no issue with the laptop in terms of performance and usability. In terms of battery is concerned, so HP advertises battery life at about 4 point somewhat odd hours, but that's definitely not going to happen. with somewhat about 80% of a brightness on the LCD, and just a normal task such as productivity work and web browsing, listening to Spotify while you're at it, Wi-Fi firing. So under normal circumstance, under normal load, battery, I was about to get hair under 4 hours. So about 3 hours and 50 minutes, give and take 5, depending on the day, depending on what I'm doing. And if you are engaging the GPU heavy load, I was about to get about 2.5 hours when it's just being pushed to its maximum throttle. So with that said, this is a great laptop in terms of budget, and you know, it does carry the gamer laptop appearance. You know, I wouldn't quite say it's garish, and you know, it doesn't have all the LED RGB just going everywhere. That's really distracting. Make no mistake, it's not a laptop you want to carry into a boardroom meeting. It's not one of those. It is definitely for portable gaming. So if you need a solid, absolutely a devastatingly fast computer overall on top of gaming, then this is a great laptop that I would like to recommend, set aside from the size and minor issues that I have talked about. Maybe the 15-inch offering from HP, its little sibling, is a better fit because of its much better size and much better execution of the ports being on this side, and you know, with not as much bezel as the 17-inch Big Brother. Maybe that is a better offering for you if you are looking for something a little bit more portable. All right, so that's about it. I don't think I've missed anything. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Might as well hit the bell notification so that I can come see you every time I have a new video. Okay, so that's it for this episode, and until next time, you guys all take care. Be good humans. Thank you for watching.